Qin Nan summoned his beast. Little Tun emerged, transforming into a massive black serpent as emerald lightning crackled around its scales. "Let's see the power of this heaven-devouring serpent," he commanded. The beast lunged at Snake Koi with lethal speed, fleeing in terror. Snake Koi saw his former pet closing in. "My clan's soul. Why hunt your patriarch?" he shrieked in horror. "You slaughtered thousands of my kin to forge my body." The beast roared. "Today, I will devour your soul for revenge." With one snap, it swallowed Snake Koi whole. Having settled the blood debt, it coughed in disgust and spat on the ground. "Ugh! Disgusting," it groaned. Below, Qin Nan smirked at the sweet revenge. "Excellent work, Little Tun," he shouted. "Return." Little Tun shrank into a small violet snake, landing on his palm. It spat out a beast core for its master. He patted its head. "Good job. Go rest." It vanished instantly. Qin Nan felt his power. He had reached the Divine Monarch Realm. At peak stage 3, he was on the verge of stage 4. This core would be the key. He began absorbing the energy. Spiritual power surged within him like a tidal wave. "Bring it on," he roared. "I will break through to stage 4. Thunder rumbled as lightning struck. Blue bolts crackled around him, yet they felt like mere tickles against his skin. He was unhurt. The clouds parted. Feeling the new surge of strength, Qin Nan smirked. "The fourth tribulation was easier than I expected." Watching from behind, Qin Tu gasped in awe. "His strength is terrifying." Qin Nan stood tall, hands behind his back. "The Beast Emperor is gone. This realm is free." Later, beneath the forest sun, Qin Tu knelt before her family's graves. "Father, Mother, the blood debt is paid. You can finally rest," she sobbed. Qin Nan stood silently by her side. He placed a hand on her shoulder. "You must lead now. Become the new empress and stabilize the beast realm." Her eyes hardened with resolve. "The beast and Yuan Yang realms will be eternal allies, just like us." Qin Nan nodded. "My mission here is twofold: vengeance and finding the Holy Spirit Stone." "Do you know its location?" "The stone used to repair the Star Wall. That coward emperor already offered it to the demon realm." Qin Tu revealed. "What? That fool gave away our only defense!" Qin Nan clenched his fists. "Without it, the Yuan Yang realm is vulnerable. We can't just wait. I must strike the demon realm, rescue the continent, and wipe out those demons forever, to end this forever." But Qin Tu worried. "The demon race is massive. They've already conquered 3 of the 9 realms. The spirit realm is under siege too. How can we face such an overwhelming force?" she asked with deep concern. "The God-Slaying Sect I founded will protect my home," Qin Nan reassured her, his gaze piercing the horizon. "But to invade the demon realm, I must ascend further. My own cultivation is the only way. In this world, where the strong devour the weak, only power can protect. I must return to Yuan Yang immediately. Call me if the beast realm needs aid. We will stand by you." With that, he soared into the clouds. "Wait for me, Qin Nan," she whispered. Meanwhile, at the majestic God-Slaying Sect, perched high above the Yuan Yang holy city, this sect, built by his allies, was now shrouded in an ominous, suffocating darkness. The sky turned blood-red. Dark-skinned demons with jagged horns hovered in the sky. Their leader wielded a massive, blood-stained spiked mace. He chuckled wickedly. Below him, the sect's protectors lay defeated and broken on the shattered ground. "Hold the line!" Zhao Jing hissed through gritted teeth. The demon laughed. "So this is the Realm Lord's precious sect. Pathetic. Not a single warrior among you." Zhao Jing looked up, eyes blazing. "We will not disgrace our Lord's name. Protect Yuan Yang. Activate the Grand Array. Block them at all costs." A complex violet formation illuminated the sky. A shimmering barrier formed. A demon sneered. "What? These insects think a mere array can stop us. Hilarious. How delusional. But fine. I'm bored. Let's play a little game with these pests. Listen well. You have 3 days to surrender. If you refuse, this entire sect will be erased. I will crush the Yuanyang realm personally. Zhao Jing spat back. Do you not fear our lord's return? The demon erupted in laughter. Your lord is a fool, thinking one man could defy the entire beast realm. Absurd. The beast realm has a stage 5 divine monarch guarding it. Do you really think he survived? A mere stage 1 weakling like him. He's likely been ground into dust by now. He's dead for sure. Panic spread among the disciples. A stage 5 master. There's no way our lord lived. We're abandoned. How can we face these demons alone? It's impossible. Even together, we're nothing to them. The demon general grinned, savoring their growing despair. Yes, drown in your own hopelessness. He flew off, leaving the sect to rot in fear for 3 agonizing days. Despair gripped their hearts like a vice. A disciple cried out that 3 days had passed without any sign of the sect master. He must have perished in the beast realm. Why stay and die? Let us escape before the demons descend upon us. Another voice echoed the cowardice, claiming that remaining at the post was nothing more than a one-way ticket to the grave. Rage blazed in Zhao Jing's eyes. She roared at the deserters, "Hold your ground! You are forbidden from leaving. If you run now..." Double quotes, ... the great array will shatter. The entire Yuanyang realm will be left defenseless against the demonic tides. Do you wish for total destruction? But fear had already poisoned their loyalty. One man stood up, his eyes cold with betrayal and a total lack of faith. That useless sect master likely intended for us to be shields. We won't fall for his trap just to be cannon fodder. He urged the others to flee. Let's go! Brothers! The cowards swarmed after him, abandoning their duty to save their own skins. Zhao Jing's blood boiled as she watched the traitors flee, leaving the remaining few to struggle with the collapsing formation. Even high-ranking disciples bowed in shame before deserting. Elders, forgive us, but we choose to seek a glimmer of survival elsewhere. It was pure madness. Zhao Jing watched in horror as Yi Xian gasped. The formation, it won't hold much longer. Like glass, the great array shattered. They stood alone, abandoned by the very disciples they had sworn to protect. With the shield gone, the demon general would face no resistance. The Yuanyang realm was now completely vulnerable to the coming slaughter. Despair clouded Yi Xian's heart. Was this truly the final chapter for their world? Would the sect master ever return to save them? Unbeknownst to them, Qin Nan was already approaching, unaware that his sect was teetering on the brink of total ruin. Panicked disciples shoved past him on the path. Qin Nan frowned, sensing a dark omen in the chaotic and cowardly retreat. He pressed on, encountering more deserters. Surprised to see someone heading toward the sect, they urged him to turn back immediately. Are you mad? Turn back now! The demons are coming to paint these mountains in blood. Run while you still can. Qin Nan's expression darkened to a terrifying degree. How could his own disciples be so spineless in the face of a crisis? Why are you running instead of fighting the invaders? The cowards only looked at him with faces pale from terror. Our pathetic sect master is gone. Why should we die as cannon fodder for a dead man? We value our lives. Qin Nan's brow furrowed in cold fury. And who exactly told you that the sect master was no longer among the living? They spat on the name of their weak leader. But Qin Nan stood firm. I am the trash you speak of. They erupted in mocking laughter. If you're the sect master, then we are the gods of heaven. They sneered and left him. Ignore the madman. He's just looking for a grave, they muttered, leaving him to face the coming storm alone. Suddenly, the sky bled into darkness. A colossal black gate tore through the clouds like the coming of the final apocalypse. Crimson lightning announced the demon general's arrival. The fleeing disciples froze in place, their screams echoing through the valley. Nightmare creatures emerged, their jagged teeth bared in a cruel grin, and their eyes glowing with an unquenchable bloodlust. The demon general roared with arrogance, swinging a massive spiked mace that pulsed with overwhelming malevolent energy. Prepare to be ground into the dirt, you pathetic ants. His voice shook the very foundations of the mountain peaks. Amidst the panic, Qin Nan stood like a mountain. He sensed the general's power, the fifth stage of the God realm. He was just like the enemy Qin Nan had recently slain. Without hesitation, the sect master soared into the sky like a comet. Is he suicidal? The deserters gasped, watching the lone figure challenge the demonic titan with nothing but a sword, to face a fifth-stage general alone. It wasn't just brave. It was absolute insanity that no words could describe. The demon general narrowed his eyes at the intruder. You dare challenge me, little fly. Do you seek a painful death? Qin Nan didn't waste words. He drew the burning heaven sword, and a torrent of divine aura exploded around him. I am Qin Nan. The sect master of the Yuan Yang realm has returned. His voice thundered across the battlefield. The traitors gaped in disbelief. Was it truly him? But could the weakest king actually survive such a terrifying monster? They only cared for their own lives, forgetting that their leader had already conquered enemies far stronger than this. The general was stunned, having assumed Qin Nan had died. King Nan. Impossible. How did you survive the Beast King's wrath? Qin Nan smirked coldly. The Beast King. All I know is that he won't be bothering anyone ever again. Enraged, the general lunged like a beast, but his movements were riddled with fatal openings in Qin Nan's eyes. You are even weaker than the last one, Qin Nan whispered, swinging his blade in a lethal, blinding arc. A gut-wrenching scream tore through the air as demonic blood erupted. The general couldn't believe his absolute defeat. The supposedly invincible general plummeted from the sky, crashing down before his horrified army and the stunned disciples. The two cowards were shaking in their boots. A five-life god, king general of the demon race, decimated by a low-tier realm lord like Qin Nan. He's truly dead. Our realm lord is a monster. Qin Nan cold-bloodedly warns the survivors. Scram back to your demon king. Harm my disciples, and I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth. Qin Nan reigns supreme while the traitors drown in regret. Is it over? Did he really win? We're doomed. If the Lord remembers our disrespect, our heads are rolling for sure. The loyal brothers erupt in cheers. Qin Nan has surpassed his predecessor. A three-life god king is now the undisputed peak of this realm. He's the strongest in history. Zhao Jing's heart finally finds peace as the storm clouds vanish from the horizon. It feels like a fever dream. How did the Lord's power skyrocket so fast in such a short time? He's reached a level I can only dream of. Yeah. Shan's eyes sparkle. That's the kind of titan I want to serve. Qin Nan's voice thunders from the heavens. If you want to leave, go. I won't force anyone. But the remaining warriors roar back in unison. We live and die with the Lord. We will guard Yuan Yang until our last breath. Strategy time. I've avenged our people in the Beast Realm and settled their internal strife. Qin Nan declares. The Beast Realm wants an alliance, but the Sacred Spirit Stone is gone, and our barrier won't be fixed anytime soon. Defense is useless. We're taking the fight to the Demon Realm. Yi Xian gasps. My lord, wait. The Nine Realms War is starting. We can't neglect our realm's destiny. Qin Nan frowns. What exactly is this war? Zhao Jing steps up. It's a grand tournament, hosted by the High God of the Shangyang Holy Land. Every 1,000 years, the realms battle to decide their share of the world's fortune. Higher rank means massive luck. That luck births peerless geniuses and divine treasures within the realm's borders. Yi Xian adds. The Demon Lord took first place in the last war. That's why they conquered 3 realms so easily. This battle is the ultimate turning point for our survival. The winner can demand any single item from the other 8 realms. No refusals. Qin Nan's eyes narrow. Anything. So if I win, I can reclaim the Heavenly Origin continent without effort. Zhao Jing nods. Indeed. Invading the demon realm directly would trigger a bloodbath with no guarantee of success. But through this war, you can strike the demon realm alone and win back our home. Qin Nan is fired up. When does it start? I must prepare. In 1 month, Zhao Jing replies. Each realm sends 3 champions, including the Lord. The High God will oversee the trials at the Holy Land. Qin Nan's blood boils. 1 month to go. He thinks of his ancestors and Ning Ruyun back home. I will win back our land and see you all again. I swear it. Training begins. They head to the ruins of the gods' battlefield. Meanwhile, in the dark heart of the demon realm, the demon lord sits upon his throne. Report. Qin Nan has returned, and the beast realm has a new king. He just smirks. A persistent little pest. Lord, the spirit realm is holding out, but the great war is close. Retreat for now. In 1 month, I'll claim first place again and crush all opposition. With another cycle of fortune, I'll unify the 9 realms in a century. I will reign as the supreme ruler. He cackles. Then I'll finally enter the Shangyang, Holy Land, as a true god. His disciple fawns. Once you ascend, our race will conquer the void and rule over the myriad worlds. Ha ha ha! Even the God realm will be nothing but a stepping stone for my ascension. Their certain victory is theirs. Back at the ruins, Qin Nan gazes at the awe-inspiring remains of history. The spiritual aura here is overwhelming. If just a fragment is this powerful, the ancient war must have been terrifying. The Fentian god appears. It wasn't scary, just a bunch of hot-headed gods throwing punches. This place is just a tiny speck from a world we accidentally shattered during a disagreement. Qin Nan is speechless. You guys destroyed 10,000 realms just for fun, and only 10 are left. It started in the primordial era. Everyone wanted a piece of a legendary ancient treasure. The fallout left only 9 realms standing. That treasure fell right into this ancient battlefield. The true gods made a pact not to fight directly, so they hold this tournament to let the realms hunt for the prize. So this place is basically a gold mine of ancient artifacts. Qin Nan asks. Treasures are common, but the ultimate artifact is what we truly crave. Sadly, no one has found it in eons. This ancient battlefield has become a playground for the true gods. Qin Nan realized the gods were using their world as a stage. We are forced to slaughter one another while they watch for sport. The burning heaven god laughed, confirming the grim reality. Yet, this great war is more than just a hunt for treasure. The true gods are searching for worthy talent to ascend. They seek those who can step into the divine realm. Qin Nan's heart raced. Finally, a chance to enter a world of power. But the burning heaven god knew better. This 9-realm struggle would be a bloodbath beyond anything the world had ever seen. Legendary relics aren't claimed by mere desire. He warned Qin Nan to stay humble, leaving the young cultivator momentarily deflated. Still, hope burned bright. Such ancient treasures belonged in his hands. Suddenly, the gates to the divine ruins groaned wide open. It was time. As they moved, Yi Xian arrived, reporting that the other domain lords had already breached the sanctuary's heart. With a sharp nod, the trio soared inside. Qin Nan's mindward, ready to face whatever trials the gods had staged. Nearby, a demon realm disciple smirked. Their sinister goal was finally within reach. Meanwhile, over at the Tyrant Domain, the land lay in ruins, scarred by ancient wars. Bahao Tian, the Tyrant, Domain Lord, surveyed the wasteland with suspicion. He doubted this desolate place held any destiny. His followers agreed, wondering if the true gods had led them to trash. Are we here just to scavenge garbage? They grumbled. Suddenly, a woman's mocking voice cut through the air, silencing them all. She exposed his lies, noting that he had been secretly plotting to seize these ancient treasures for 3 years. Already, it was Yao Ling of the spirit realm. Bah how! Tian snapped back, accusing her of being just as hungry for power. Everyone was determined to claim the ultimate prize. As they squared off, another figure appeared, urging the rivals to stop bickering. Qing Luo proposed an alliance. To him, the demon realm was the true threat, and cooperation was their only path to victory. Ba Hao Tian scoffed, but his attention shifted as Yan Lu of the demon realm arrived, her cold voice commanding immediate silence. He mocked her for coming alone as a mere seventh tribulation god monarch. But Yan Lu met his gaze with unwavering confidence. Though she was only at the sixth tribulation, her raw power was enough to crush anyone who dared to stand in her way. Why would she team up with fifth-year weak? Just then, Qin Nan arrived, observing the fractured alliance from the shadows. The domain lords were at each other's throats. Ye Shan whispered that greed had replaced any hope of unity between realms. Qin Nan noticed Bing Jiyu, the ice domain lord, standing apart. She was a frozen enigma, legendary for her untouchable coldness. Zhao Jing listed the gathered powers. The realms of Yuan Yang, Ba, Spirit, Linlu, and the chilling, Ice, domain. Only the Beast realm was missing. Qin Nan assumed Lord Qiang Zhao was still busy, stabilizing his territory after the recent chaos. Yi Xian sighed at their absence. It was a wasted opportunity to break through their limits in this divine hunting ground. Ba Hao Tian sneered at Qin Nan. He couldn't believe a first tribulation brat had actually managed to slay a domain lord. Yao Ling scoffed, claiming the Yuanyang realm would always remain at the bottom, regardless of who sat on the throne. A cruel smirk played on her lips. Before Qin Nan could even speak, Zhao Jing's temper flared like an erupting volcanic storm. She pointed accusingly at the tyrant lord, her voice thunderous as she defended her leader's honor against their petty insults. Qin Nan calmly steadied her with a touch. There was no need to waste precious breath on those who did not matter. In this world, only fists truly spoke. The battlefield would decide who lived and who died. Ba Hao Tian grinned wildly. He issued a lethal challenge, wondering if the little brat could even survive a single blow from his mighty, legendary fist. Qin Nan's confident smile only infuriated the tyrant lord further, causing him to grind his teeth in pure, unadulterated rage. Purple lightning crackled as he glared at Qin Nan. With a roar, he summoned heaven-splitting energy into the palm of his hand. Verdant spirit energy coalesced into a massive, shimmering fist that hovered ominously above, ready to crush everything in its path. "Eat this!" he screamed. The fist plummeted like a meteor, triggering a cataclysmic explosion that rocked the very ruins. The earth shattered and dust choked the air. Qin Nan's allies watched in horror, their hearts sinking as the smoke billowed. They cried out his name in despair. Ba Hao Tian chuckled, convinced that nothing but ash remained of the young upstart. Fury burned in the eyes of the Yuanyang warriors. But suddenly, a faint, rhythmic sound emerged from the settling debris. A cough echoed through the silence. To everyone's shock, Qin Nan stood perfectly intact, merely dusting off his robes with indifference. He had completely outplayed the tyrant. His comrades cheered, their fear turning into triumphant laughter at the sight of him. Qin Nan offered a mocking compliment on the lord's strength. His friends rushed over, checking him for any hidden wounds. Still breathing. Ba Hao Tian scoffed. He was stunned, but refused to show it, calling Qin Nan's survival a stroke of luck. He claimed Qin Nan wasn't worth a second strike, walking away while Qin Nan calmly wiped a stray drop of blood away. His gaze hardened as dread sank in. Damn it, their strength is far beyond anything I imagined. Shadows swallowed the sky as storm clouds gathered. Suddenly, a blinding radiance erupted from the horizon. Ethereal figures materialized within the heavens. Below, the crowd erupted in a chorus of pure shock. They've arrived. The true gods. Their presence is divine. A freckled man shouted, trembling with excitement. To reach such heights, ... Leading the procession was a figure in monochrome robes, his golden hair shimmering. Behind him trailed a legion of followers. This was Shu Wanye, his violet eyes swirling with cold, majestic power. Silence. Though his voice was soft, an invisible weight crushed the air, instantly stifling the crowd's clamor. Terrifying. Double. Quotes a horned man gasped. A mere whisper, and the very fabric of space begins to tremble. With hands clasped behind him, Zhuan looked down. The gods' ruins have opened. Infinite treasures and legacies await. Yet peril lurks in every shadow, whether you find fortune or death. Rests solely on your own fate. Yaoling sat perched atop her colossal spider. Her eyes sparkled with mischief. Exactly as I suspected. A legendary artifact is hidden within these ruins. Bahao! Tian sneered, his arrogance radiating toward the heavens. What I desire, I take. He roared with a haughty laugh. Suddenly, the sky itself was violently shredded apart. A jagged, abyssal, purple rift tore through reality, forcing every eye upward in sheer terror. Two figures stepped from the darkness. We have arrived. A cold voice echoed as the red-haired man smirked. His piercing gaze swept over the crowd, as if they were nothing but insects. A mocking grin curled on his lips. Greetings, lowly ants. Qin Nan's group recoiled. How can his aura be this overwhelming? Qin Nan wondered. Yaoling's expression shifted as she realized the truth. Her mind raced with a sudden, chilling realization. The true sovereign of the demon realm. His power likely dwarfs the God Monarch Realm, rivaling even a true god. The crushing weight of the aura bore down on Qin Nan. Sweat beaded on his brow as he gritted his teeth. The Demon Lord. He who ravaged the Tianyang continent and slaughtered countless souls. Across the Yuanyang region. Our blood feud ends only in death. The red-haired demon sneered at the assembly. Is this the God Monarch Realm? Stage 3, /5, Evan Savan. Patheto, you realm lords are weak, and there is even a stage 4 ant among you. How utterly disappointing. His cold, murderous gaze locked directly onto Qin Nan. He reached out, and the temperature plummeted to a bone-chilling frost. If not for the dimensional barriers protecting your realms, my demon legion would have conquered the 9 realms ages ago. Wouldn't you agree? Yaoling? His crimson eyes bored into her soul, sending a violent shiver down her spine. Yaoling trembled. As her name was called, she glanced at Yan Lu, her heart sinking. Yan Lu, alone, a stage 7 God Monarch. Guards. The Demon Realm. He nearly decimated the Yao Realm alone. If that great demon lord joins the fray, even the heavens will fall. The demon realms. Might is terrifying. They intend to seize every single artifact within these ancient ruins. Their goal is the primordial treasures, Qinglua whispered, her eyes wide with fear. The red-haired lord turned to Yan Lu. Yan Lu, he commanded, handle this tedious trial. I expect you to reach the 8th stage before this is over. By your command, my lord. Yan Lu bowed low, but a sinister, predatory glint flickered in her eyes. Once I claim the treasures of this tomb, she thought. Breakthrough is certain. Then, the Yao realm will be mine to crush. Space buckled once more as a rift opened. Task assigned, the red-haired demon and his companion vanished into the void. Yan Lu watched her master depart, before turning a haughty gaze toward the crowd. I am more than enough to deal with you lot. In a hidden dimension, a group of figures gathered around a mystical orb, watching the chaos unfold. Like a stage play, this petty squabble is becoming tedious, one man yawned, stroking his chin. Let us spice up the game. What do you suggest? Another asked. In response, a high monk gathered his spiritual essence, manifesting a radiant earthen lotus. This lotus shall be the prize. Now, who among us can predict which of these ants will claim it? Laughter echoed through the chamber. A fine wager. Let the betting begin. Bahatian, from the Tyrant Realm. One man declared, his strength is like an endless tide. He is the clear favorite. Nonsense, a woman countered. Yao Ling has the edge. I'm putting my money on Qing He. Another chimed in. Wagers were placed on Bingju and Yan Lu. As the debate grew heated, Juan Ye cast a bored glance toward the screen. The Realm Lords are taken, leaving only that failure. Qin Nan, with a flick, the lotus plummeted, expanding 100-fold. That treasure is mine. Qin Nan roared, lunging forward to seize it. The massive earth lotus began to shrink, unleashing a terrifying cyclone of raw power. Tan Nam seemed to be frantically absorbing that monstrous energy into his own body. The explosion of power shook heaven and earth, as a blinding golden radiance swallowed everything. Everyone shielded their eyes from the glare. What on earth is happening? The beautiful girl cried out in shock. To think that was a hidden treasure. The pink-haired youth behind them saw his prize slipping away and roared. Tan Nam, hand over that treasure to me this instant. He turned his head with a smirk. Give it to you. Why would I ever do that? In your dreams, pal. The youth let out a murderous laugh. Do you have a death wish? Tan Nam only responded with a look of pure disdain, not uttering another word. He vanished in a flash, leaving the other man fuming in silence. He screamed, "Catch him! Seize the treasure!" The mob surged into the sky to pursue Tan Nam. Moments later, the group successfully shook them off. He sighed in relief, finally free from their pursuit. Looking down, they discovered a pitch-black abyss, a stark contrast to the earlier chaos. Tan Nam remained remarkably calm. He rubbed his chin in thought before speaking. This looks like a scar left by an ancient sovereign's weapon in battle. The gods of the primordial era. Tuten's eyes lit up with excitement as she clenched her fists. This is the perfect place for us to hide. Let's go. Move out. With that, Tan Nam's group dove straight into the abyss. They vanished so quickly, the pursuers were left stunned. Humph. They went down there. Unlike the others, Bahao Thien remained chillingly composed, calmly issuing orders to the two men beside him. We follow them. A streak of light sliced through the dark. Tan Nam gasped as he saw the scene below. He shouted, "What is this? Why are there so many? It is best to stay cautious." Tuten and Dujayat Tian landed right behind him. Dujia Tian raised her hand, igniting a flame of spiritual energy. The firelight pierced the gloom. Dujayat Tian scanned the surroundings and began to stammer in horror. This is too tragic. Before them lay the ruins of an ancient settlement, now littered with shattered armor and rusted weapons, yet not a single bone remained. Tan Nam shivered at the desolate sight. Just looking at the sheer number of weapons, one could imagine how brutal the ancient war must have been. Suddenly, a hand rested on his shoulder from behind, and a soft voice spoke. This is still just the tip of the iceberg, you know. This massive pit is only a tiny fraction of the ruins, and these ruins are just a fragment of an ancient realm from the primordial age. She crossed her arms, her stern gaze fixed on Tan Nam, and this realm was but one among tens of thousands of such territories. Can you imagine the scale of the ancient war of gods now? I only know that back then, mortal lives were as cheap as weeds. The woman closed her eyes in solemn agreement. Indeed, countless lives were sacrificed before they finally defeated those consumed by heart demons. Only then could the 9 realms be preserved. But if the divine realm left a legacy, we can die without regrets. Tuten spoke up anxiously. Lord Realm Master, Dujayat, Tian and I searched everywhere and found no treasures. If there is nothing here, why is the spiritual energy so dense? Seeing the two girls struggling, the red-haired woman crossed her arms and smirked. The treasure is right in front of you, yet you are blind to it. Tan Nam suddenly realized the truth and asked urgently, could the treasure be these blue glowing mists? These are the remnant souls of ancient gods. It is the purest form of spiritual essence. If you absorb it, your cultivation will skyrocket. Hearing this, Tan Nam looked up in awe. Countless soul fragments drifted through the air like stars, and he knit his brows. There are so many remnant souls of gods gathered in this place. I am currently at the peak of the fourth tribulation God Monarch Realm, just steps from a breakthrough. If I absorb these, I will reach the fifth. Without a moment's hesitation, Tan Nam turned to the two women and gave a sharp command. Du Jiat, Tien, Tu Tin, absorb these souls to increase your power. Yes, immediately. All three sat down and began to circulate their techniques. The blue specks were rapidly drawn toward them. Two. Tune, whispered. One tribulation. Two. Three. Once she finished absorbing the essence, she couldn't hide her excitement. I successfully broke through to the third tribulation God Monarch Realm. Before her joy could peak, Du Jiat, Tien quickly silenced her. She pointed toward Tan Nam and whispered, "Be quiet." The Realm Master is also breaking through. Tio Tin instantly covered her mouth, but her delight was still plain to see. My current strength is already equal to the previous Realm Master. I'm truly a genius. Du Jiate Tien reminded her reluctantly. No, you must work harder. If that old master were alive today, he would be at the fifth. Did you forget that he would have been cultivating all this time too? Tiu Tin snapped back to reality. Right. I can't be complacent. I must surpass him. She clenched her fists with absolute determination. Du Jiat Tien watched the drifting souls with a pensive gaze. This energy is truly overwhelming. This must be a power beyond the God Monarch Realm, perhaps even stronger than the true body we saw earlier. My old pace was too slow. It would have taken hundreds of years to reach the first tribulation God Monarch Realm. But by absorbing these souls, I reached the third in minutes. This proves the power of these ancient remnant souls is immense. She fell into deep thought, rubbing her chin. These souls are powerful, but limited. With my current constitution, 10 soul fragments is my absolute limit. If I take any more, my body will explode. What a waste! After a long while, Tan Nam still hadn't moved, making both girls curious. They wondered what realm their master would reach after absorbing so many. In theory, as long as the body can endure this strain, the more souls one absorbs, the stronger they become. Tan Nam continued his intense cultivation. These remnant souls are incredible. Just a few have pushed me toward the fifth tribulation. What if I devoured every single one of them? Du Jiat Tien stared at him in utter disbelief. Does the Realm Master intend to absorb every soul in this pit? Is he not afraid of exploding? Her gaze was locked onto Tan Nam's back. He sat motionless as the flickering remnants of fallen gods swirled around him, slowly merging into his very soul. Suddenly, a terrifying pressure descended from the heavens. The blast struck Tan Nam's position directly, sending a wave of panic through the two watching girls. "What's happening?" Zhao Jing cried out, shielding her eyes from the blinding radiance. Beside her, Dui Xian could only gasp in terror. Peeking through her fingers at the devastation, her heart hammered against her ribs. With such a violent explosion of spiritual energy, ... Could the Lord be? No, it's impossible. She desperately tried to calm her racing thoughts. Lord Tan Nam possessed peerless strength and had survived countless life and death trials. He wouldn't recklessly consume all those souls. If he didn't have total confidence, he wouldn't have attempted it. Despite her fear, Du Yishan clung to the hope that he would emerge unscathed. Meanwhile, footsteps echoed atop a nearby jagged cliff. Do you see that? Once Tan Nam finishes absorbing that volatile energy, ... his body will surely burst under the pressure. Two mysterious figures, one old and one young, peered down with sinister glares. Their voices dripped with malice. "We strike the moment he falls and seize every treasure on his corpse." They were certain the surge had ended him. Driven by greed, they leaped from the precipice without a second thought. To them, the danger below had already vanished with Tan Nam's presumed death. But Tan Nam was far from finished. Not only was his body intact, but a titanic aura erupted from him. A force so primal it chilled the very air. The power within these remnants is truly formidable. Tan Nam's eyes snapped open, gleaming with satisfaction. He raised a hand, testing the new strength. A surge of raw power coursed through his veins. pushing him directly into the 5,000-year God Monarch Realm. Zhao Jing cheered. The fifth tribulation. He did it! The Lord is invincible. The two intruders froze in their tracks, their faces turning pale. Wait. Stop! They hissed, retreating back into the shadows. The blonde-haired scout peeked over the rocks. His jaw dropped as he realized Tan Nam hadn't just survived, he had ascended to a terrifying new level. What? He's still breathing, his white-haired companion stammered, unable to comprehend how a mortal could endure such a massive influx of divine remnants. This brat. He must possess a legendary destiny beyond those blue sparks. The blonde one whispered, his eyes narrowing with renewed envy. That explains his meteoric rise from the first tribulation. No matter. We are both at the fifth stage. If we strike together, he's finished. Their arrogance masked their growing dread. Once we crush him, his secret treasures and that hidden destiny will belong to us. The great Lord will reward us handsomely for this. The blond man growled, his grip crushing the stone. Below, Tan Nam stood like an immovable mountain. I wondered how long you rats would keep tailing me. Tan Nam's cold voice sliced through the air. He glanced back, his sharp gaze pinning the intruders in place. So, you're just Hao Tian's lap. The blonde villain snorted, stepping onto the ledge with a sneer of absolute superiority. That divine fortune belongs to us now. Tan Nam didn't even turn around. Instead, a magnificent golden spear manifested in his hand, radiating celestial light. When I was only at the fourth tribulation, I might have avoided a direct clash, he said calmly, his fingers tightening around the weapon shaft. But now that I've reached the fifth, you're nothing but dust. With a sudden roar, he swung the spear, unleashing a devastating wave of energy. 10,000 tribulations. God-Slaying. Strike. Go. The spear tore through the sky like a falling star, aimed straight at Hao Tian's henchman. What kind of artifact is that? Such power! The blonde screamed. The white-haired man threw up a desperate defense, howling as the impact shook his soul. Hurry! Use the Tyrant Domain's secret technique. They combined their powers in a frantic attempt to repel the lethal strike. A violent stalemate ensued. Blinding light flooded the canyon as the spear hissed against their barrier. With a thunderous boom, they managed to deflect the weapon. The white-haired man cracked his knuckles, a smug grin returning to his face. Is that all? I expected more from a supposedly divine treasure. Tan Nam merely gathered a new, even denser aura in his palm. Your arrogance is truly pitiful. That was merely a warm-up. A chilling smile touched his lips, one of pure pity. I thought 3% of my power would suffice. It seems I'll need 5% to erase you. Shatter! With a thunderous command, he thrust forward. The spear lunged again, this time carrying a weight that seemed to bend space itself. The attack was exponentially more lethal. Hao Tian's servants didn't even have time for a final prayer or a scream of regret. Their world was consumed by a brilliant, white-hot radiance. The direct hit from Tan Nam's spear vaporized everything in its path within the smoke. Alone! Agonizing shriek echoed before falling silent. In a single stroke, the enemies were reduced to ash. Silence returned to the desolate valley. My lord, we should leave immediately, Du Yi Xian urged, her eyes wide with lingering shock. If his scouts are here, Hao Tian himself can't be far. Tan Nam gave a calm nod. Understood. Let's move. His expression remained serene as they departed. Elsewhere, the sun shone brightly over a new horizon. Kuan Tiu stepped onto a lonely mountain pass. She looked around at the swaying grass and silent trees, finding the emptiness unsettling. Hoeru Zeberium? Her brow furrowed as she scanned the area for the other lords. Where did they go? Suddenly, a roar that shook the very foundations of the earth erupted. A monstrous gorilla emerged from the shadows. Its fur was snow-white, its muscles like corded steel. It drummed its chest in a display of primal dominance, bearing its razor-sharp fangs. The beast loomed over her. Kuan Tiu braced herself, her hand moving to her weapon. So, the Guardian has finally appeared. I wonder what treasure it guards. The ape slammed a massive foot down, cracking the stone. Qin Tu realized the true scale of the danger. The creature rose to its full height, its shadow swallowing the sun. It let out a deafening war cry. The ancient, great ape, she gasped in shock. Its titanic fists descended like falling mountains. Qin Tu cried out as the entire cliffside buckled under the monster's overwhelming might. A violent tremor shatters the earth's peace, sending startled birds into the sky. Nearby, Qin Nan's trio feels the shockwaves. Zhao Jing and Yujixian trade shocked. Glances earthquake? Qin Nan's brow furrows as he senses a deeper, more sinister disturbance. Analyzing the chaotic energy, he quickly realizes this isn't natural. A massive battle is erupting between powerful cultivators nearby. Let's move. We might just snatch some legendary loot. With a nod, the three vanish into the dark shadows ahead. Dim light flickers as they navigate the desolate path, eventually reaching the edge of a bottomless, silent, and cold abyss. The air turns frigid and ominous. The epicenter is below, Qin Nan warns, before they plunge into the depths together. Upon landing, Qin Nan freezes. There stood Bingju, the Ice Realm Lord, flanked by her last two loyal guards. They were locked in a lethal dance with a masked warrior, clad in obsidian armor, wielding a massive, soul-chilling blade. With one brutal swing, the armored titan cleaved through a guard, leaving only a final, desperate scream of agony behind. Enraged, Bingju unleashed her ultimate frost soul, conjuring a storm of jagged ice, lances at her formidable foe. Unfazed, the titan remained a mountain of steel. Break, he roared, his blade carving a destructive arc through the air. The ice shattered like glass. He broke through it. Her remaining guard gasped in a state of sheer terror. Shielding his face from the debris, the guard collapsed. This enemy felt like an invincible god of war from hell. My lord, this monster is beyond us. Cold sweat poured down his face as his voice trembled with pure dread. Bing. Ju's gaze hardened. That is the remnant soul of a true god. Its power rivals the heavens themselves. Stay sharp! She cried as the freezing blade swung again, threatening to consume them in its cold, dark shadow. She parried the blow with a metallic clang. He is powerful, but slow. Find an opening and strike from his side. That frozen horn on his helm is a legendary ice treasure. It is the key to my next breakthrough. Understood! The guard steeled his resolve, igniting his blade with a fierce fire as he leaped into the air. He poured his spirit into the strike, but the armored phantom stood motionless, utterly unimpressed by the puny fire. Ha! Fall before my blade! He aimed a lethal thrust directly at the crystalline horn, hoping for a killing blow. Reality shattered his hope. His sword snapped against the horn like a twig. How is it this indestructible? Terror drained the color from his face. Before he could retreat, a massive, gaunted hand clamped onto his skull. A muffled groan escaped his throat as the titan hoisted him high, snuffing out his life with mechanical cruelty. A sickening crack echoed. The armored soul turned its murderous gaze toward her, dragging its heavy blade with deathly intent. His internal energy surged, suffocating the air. A sudden, scorching energy flared from his massive saber, burning with dark light. Lightning began to dance across his armor as a colossal sphere of crackling electricity materialized behind his back. Bingju's eyes widened with a guttural grunt. The remnant slammed a blinding bolt of blue lightning into the earth. Electrical currents raced across the ground like hungry serpents. Lightning is far faster than my frost. She realized her mistake. Focusing every ounce of her mana, she prepared a desperate counter to shatter the storm. I won't fall here, she screamed. Yet a stray spark of lightning bit deep into her unprotected shoulder. A searing numbness paralyzed her arm. She glared at the scorched wound, her blood boiling with primal rage. The phantom let out a hollow, mocking laugh. Stay calm, she hissed to herself. It's just a mindless shadow. But the mindless shadow charged with terrifying speed. She raised her heavenly clear sword, surrounding herself with crystalline petals. You may possess the power of a true god, but you are a ghost. Do not look down on me. As a realm lord, her pride wouldn't allow defeat. Primal iced snowstorm, she bellowed, unleashing her ultimate forbidden technique. Her sword pointed true as a monstrous blizzard erupted. A swirling vortex of frost designed to swallow the Titan whole. Caught off guard by the sheer magnitude of the frost, the remnant soul was instantly entombed in an icy prison. It worked! She gasped. But the effort forced a spray of crimson from her lips as the backlash hit. Clutching her chest, she watched the frozen statue. Sacrificing my essence. Blood was a heavy price, but he's finally contained. With a swift strike, she severed the ice horn. Finally, the key to my ascension is within my hands. But as she reached for the prize, a sharp crack echoed. A massive hand burst from the ice, grabbing her shoulder. What? Her heart plummeted. The beast's eyes flared with renewed malice. It had shattered her seal in seconds. He hoisted her by the throat, beginning to drain her life force. Bingju realized his horrific final play. He's planning a soul sacrifice to drag us both down. Dream on. Cold hard ice. Soul mirror. The abyss exploded. Coughed. ... That explosion was massive. As the dust settles, Bingju stands alone. The remnant soul finally vanquished. She exhales in relief. Only by sacrificing her domain treasure did she survive. Clutching her lightning-charred arm, she vows to tread carefully in these divine ruins. Too close, she mutters, looking at her relic with regret. This treasure only has 2 uses left before its power fades forever. Chilled ice, soul mirror, return. But the relic remains motionless on the frozen earth, ignoring its master's desperate command. Why isn't it responding? Meanwhile, Qin Nan, Zhao Jing, and Yi Xian are a tangled mess of limbs after their narrow escape. Qin Nan groans, rubbing his head. Zhao Jing sighs at their luck, while Yi Xian shields her face from the suffocating dust. Suddenly, Qin Nan clutches his vibrating dantian. In panic, what's happening? Why is the solar-grade sun acting so erratically? He recalls Yan Lu's warning. This core is greedy for power. Watching his dantian spiral out of control, he gulps in pure dread. I can't suppress it. Qin Nan shouts, his core glowing fiercely. Stay here. You too. I'll be right back. After a grueling clash, the remnant soul she had to unleash her ultimate chilled ice soul mirror just to survive the blast. But as she tries to reclaim it, the treasure defies her. It streaks through the air, leaving her stunned. Wait, where is it going? She gives chase, but the mirror zips toward Qin Nan like a guided missile. Qin Nan, watch out! She screams as destiny takes a turn. The relic plunges into Qin Nan's body, leaving him bewildered. His solar great sun begins hungrily devouring the ice treasure. Instantly, he realizes he's stumbled upon a legendary prize as radiant, 7-colored light pulses from within his chest. The beauty lands before him, her blade already at his throat. You shameless thief, she roars, freezing Qin Nan in his tracks. Rage burns in her eyes. How dare you steal my ice domain's treasure? Qin Nan breaks into a cold sweat, waving his hands frantically. Wait, it wasn't intentional. If you kill me now, your precious treasure will be destroyed along with my soul. Scoundrel, give it back, she screams, her razor-sharp edge pressing against his skin. Qin Nan dares not move a single muscle. He carefully pushes the blade aside to negotiate. Cool down. This treasure means everything to your people, doesn't it? Her fury blazes higher. This is our ancestral soul mirror. My family has guarded it for generations. Of course, it is important. Qin Nan raises his hands in surrender. Calm down. If you want it back, let's strike a deal instead of fighting. She hesitates, narrowing her eyes. What kind of deal? Qin Nan smirks. Your strength is impressive. I could use a partner. Let's join forces against the other domain lords. Once we escape these ruins, I will return your treasure. What do you say? She ponders the offer. It's a win. You're here for the divine relics anyway, Qin Nan adds, sweetening the pot. An alliance only benefits us both. After a moment of calculated silence, she finally gives a sharp nod of agreement. But touch its power, and I will kill you, she warns. Qin Nan immediately raises 3 fingers to swear a solemn oath. I swear I won't use it. If I do, I'm a coward. Satisfied for now, she turns and vanishes into the mist. I have business elsewhere. She had seized the Icehorn soul from the battle, and now needs a place to refine it. To reach a new level of power, she must absorb that soul fragment. Success would mean a massive breakthrough in her cultivation realm. Qin Nan is baffled. Hey, what about our alliance? Don't you want your mirror back? She leaps away, her voice echoing back. I will appear when you are dying. He crosses his arms, a wry smile on his face. What a stubborn, fiery woman. As he heads back to his team, a massive emerald beam pierces the sky from the mountains. Its roar! Splitting the air. The forest trembles, catching everyone's attention. Reunited with Zhao Zheng and Ye Xian, the trio stares at the blinding light in shock. What could cause such a disturbance? The girls ask in unison. Qin Nan, what is happening? Ye Xian gazes at the radiant pillar. Could it be a god's hidden palace? With eyes full of greed and excitement, they charge toward the source. Let's move. We will take every treasure. The girls nod eagerly as the spiritual pressure grows heavier with every step they take. A sense of impending danger looms. Stay sharp, Qin Nan warns. Every domain lord within 10 miles will be heading here. They find the entrance, guarded by biting winds. At the altar lies an elixir, glowing with intricate, mystical, purple, and blue patterns. No appraisal is needed. This is a top-tier legendary pill. Qin Nan approaches it, his breath hitching at its immense spiritual aura. It is not a palace, but this aura is divine. Still, Qin Nan scratches his head, unable to identify this mysterious glowing orb. He summons the god of burning heaven. Do you recognize this? She appears and examines it. It is likely a primordial beast core. It holds the power of ancient gods. For a spirit beast, this could trigger a total bloodline evolution and physical rebirth. Incredible! But when he learns humans can't consume it, disappointment clouds his face. So, it's useless to me then. Wait, he suddenly realizes, I have a spirit beast sealed within my body right now, as he lost himself in thought. Lethal sword key streaks toward him. Qin Nan's instincts kick in, narrowly dodging a fatal strike as Bahayoshin steps from the shadows. Clad in divine armor, he mocked Qin Nan with a sneer. Qin Nan, are you still among the living? Qin Nan glared back coldly. The legendary Bahao Tian sword manifested without a word. He lunged forward. I won't show any mercy this time. Steel clashed with a deafening ring. Qin Nan's arms went numb from the overwhelming force. He gritted his teeth, holding back the blow. Taste the supreme tyrant key of the tyrant domain. It was the tyrant domain's most lethal technique. A violent vortex erupted, sending Qin Nan flying backward. His blade slipped from his grasp and vanished. He groaned in pain, struggling to stand. Qin Nan wiped the blood from his lips and cursed. Calling his sword back, he scoffed in disdain. Your subordinates are truly pathetic. Their ambush failed, and they're utterly useless. Is this the true limit of your tyrant domain's power? Qin Nan's mockery drove Bahao Tian into a blind rage. Hand over the earth, Lotus, immediately. Hearing this, Qin Nan began to calculate his moves. I might not survive a direct clash with him right now. Perhaps I should use the Earth Lotus to escape before he could act. A woman's voice echoed from the heavens. Bahao Tian, we're taking this altar's prize. Have fun playing with this trash, Qin Nan. It was a stunning beauty from the demon race. Alongside her, Qing Luo of the Lin Luo domain arrived, eyeing the beast core greedily. This treasure is mine. Bah! Hao Tian turned around, horrified to see others rushing for the prize. He gritted his teeth and roared, "How dare you!" Realizing the beast core's immense value, the old man decided to spare Qin Nan for now. "I'll let you live today. Once I have the treasure, I'll come back for your life," Qin Nan replied mockingly. "Then I'll stop fighting for the core." The old man froze. Surprised by Qin Nan's easy surrender, he grew suspicious. "What are you planning?" As the sword returned to his hand, Qin Nan smiled mysteriously. "If I can't have it, neither can you." Suddenly, he summoned a colossal spear from the sky. The atmosphere shifted with immense pressure. The spear loomed directly over the old man's head. He shattered part of it and sneered. "This petty attack won't work on me!" However, Qin Nan had no intention of a real duel. His goal was pure provocation. Even if it didn't hurt, it would delay the old man's pursuit. He pointed toward the others, breaking the seal. "Look at the other domain masters. They're almost there." The old man's blood boiled. "Qin Nan, I'll kill you first." He lunged with his blade. Qin Nan let out a strange laugh and retreated. "Catch me if you can, old man." Nearby, Yao Ling and Qing Luo combined their might to shatter the seal. They unleashed their strongest moves, yet the barrier held firm. Seeing the seal flickering, the old man grew frantic. "Damn it, I can't waste any more time on this worthless Qin Nan. The true god treasure must be mine, or others will seize it." He pivoted instantly, charging straight toward the altar. Qin Nan watched him stop the chase. The old man roared at the others. "Get away from my treasure, you ants!" Qin Nan yelled, "Ba Hao Tian!" He unleashed the myriad tribulation god strike. The blow descended like a nightmare, catching the old man off guard. His face paled with fear. "Don't you dare stop me!" He raised a frantic shield. Meanwhile, the seal weakened. "It's almost ours." The others cheered in joy. "The prize is finally within our reach." Ba Hao Tian roared in desperation. "Insolent fools! No one steals my treasure!" Suddenly, a massive shadow plummeted from the sky. The ground trembled violently upon impact. No one knew what it was. "What kind of monster is this?" The creature swelled up like a massive balloon, shocking everyone. It swung a devastating fist at Yao Ling and Qing Luo. The duo was caught completely off guard. "You dare contest this prize?" Qing Luo unleashed boundless Bodhi. Countless vines erupted from his back. The vines quickly snaked around Da Bai, binding its limbs. He screamed to Yao Ling, "Now it's trapped." Yao Ling seized the moment, leaping high with her scythe gleaming. "You'll pay for trying to steal our prize." But Da Bai's strength surged, shredding the vines instantly. With a terrifying roar, it slammed its fist into the earth with godlike force. The shockwave hit Yao Ling directly. The ground shattered into a massive crater with her at the center. Qin Nan watched in horror. Qing Luo trembled in fear. "We're doomed." Before he could react, the monster's massive hand clamped around him. He was caught. "Let me go!" He struggled, his face pale as he was crushed in its palm. Without warning, the beast tossed him into the sky. A streak of light vanished into the horizon. Ba Hao Tian watched, paralyzed with shock. How can such a beast be this powerful? With a single claw, it shattered the seal and grabbed the beast core. The others screamed in helpless rage. Then, it leaped. It soared into the clouds and vanished. Stunned, the old man watched his prize slip away. He turned his burning fury back toward Qin Nan. He aimed his blade at Qin Nan's face. His expression twisted in rage. "You will pay for everything that happened today." Qin Nan bolted immediately. "Don't take your anger out on me." Ba Hao Tian roared in fury. "You won't escape my wrath today." He transformed into a towering giant, his gaze cold and lethal. Holding his massive saber high, He aimed a finishing blow at Qin Nan. Bingju! Qin Nan screamed. If she doesn't arrive, I'm finished. The massive blade bit deep into Qin Nan's back. A cry of agony escaped his lips. Qin Nan crashed to the ground, unable to move. The old man loomed over his fallen form. Kneeling on one knee, he rested the blade on his shoulder. Can't run anymore. Time to turn you into dust. He prepared to swing. He took aim for the final execution. Any last words? Suddenly, a jagged shard of ice struck the center of his blade. His weapon shattered instantly. Clutching his mangled hand, the villain roared in a mix of agony and shock. Who goes there? Then, Bingginyu descended like a celestial goddess. Her azure robes fluttered like an ice queen's shroud. Ignoring Baheoshin's fury, she uttered one chilling word. Ice Domain. Seeing her, the villain's rage reached a boiling point. So, it's you, wretched woman, he spat. Ginyu gestured sharply toward the tyrant. Release Qin Nan this instant, or prepare to die. Bahayushin merely gave a sinister, mocking smirk. You think a mere woman can stop me? Purple demonic energy erupted around him like a toxic storm. With a murderous howl, he lunged toward Bingginyu with lethal intent. Perish. Along with that mongrel Qin Nan, suddenly, a colossal white ape materialized. Its fur was white as snow. Its face, a mask of primal fury with massive, jagged fangs. With a world-shaking roar, the beast lunged at Bahayoshin, as if to devour him whole. Under its massive shadow, the villain looked like a helpless insect. Where did this monster come from? He shrieked. The ape slammed the earth, unleashing a devastating shockwave. Bahayoshin barely managed to leap back, trembling with fear. Narrowly escaping death's grip, he skidded. Across the dirt, terror finally clouded his eyes. This creature's power is overwhelming. I nearly lost my life, just now. The ape's rage only intensified. It beat its chest like thunder, making the heavens tremble. Drenched in cold sweat, Bahayoshin's heart raced with pure survival instinct. Damn it. What kind of freakish beast is this? Its cultivation wasn't peak, but the price to defeat such a titan would be far too steep to pay. Fighting both the white ape and Bingginyu was a losing battle. He reclaimed his blade, staring warily at the raging monster standing before him. Without the ancient artifact, this isn't worth the risk. Bahayoshin glared at Qin Nan. Consider yourself lucky, kid. We'll finish this later. Then, he vanished into the clouds. The predator fled, leaving the ape to turn its terrifying gaze toward Qin Nan and Gin. Their faces turned pale with dread as Qin Nan gasped in shock. Is it looking for a new target? Qin Nan braced himself, sensing the beast's absolute dominance. Bingginyu narrowed her eyes, her hand tightening on her weapon. This pressure! It's even more suffocating than the true god's soul I faced before. Suddenly, a bright, cheerful voice echoed from the shadows behind them. They both looked up as a young girl in emerald silk appeared. She wore elegant feather ornaments in her hair, looking like a forest spirit. Qin Nan, I finally found you. The young man squinted at the familiar silhouette. That voice. Could it be? Is that you, little sister? Qin Nan. The adorable girl skipped toward them with a wide grin. The inner domain was such a chaotic mess. I was so busy, I couldn't find anyone to help me. Sorry, I'm late. Qin Nan's relief was immense. Qin Nan then casually pointed toward the mountain-sized white ape looming behind them. Qin Nan, meet Da Bai. He's my newest best friend. Qin Nan's jaw hit the floor as he stared at the monstrous creature in utter disbelief. La Yu. Single quote. Friends with that thing? Qin Nan pulled her aside, whispering urgently. Qin Nan, how on earth did you befriend such a terrifying senior beast? She giggled softly. At first, I thought Dabi was going to eat me, but as it turns out, he didn't have a mean bone in his body. Maybe it's because I'm the beast domain master. Most beasts just naturally want to follow my lead. Qin Nan wiped the sweat from his forehead. Your luck is truly heaven-defying, sister. Quine Tu beamed, remembering something important. Oda Bai wanted you to have this. She opened her hand, revealing a brilliantly glowing jade pearl. Qin Nan took the treasure, scratching his head in confusion. Wait, isn't this the beast pill from the ancient altar? Did you really have Senior DA Bai go on a heist for me? She nodded proudly. I saw a pillar of light and sent him to check it out. Qin Nan tried to give it back. Quine Tu, if you hadn't arrived, I wouldn't have survived. This belongs to you. Besides, Senior DA Bai could probably use this to reach a new level of power. Quine Tu laughed and waved her hands. Dabai called it absolute trash. He said he won't touch it, so it's definitely yours. Qin Nan felt a metaphorical arrow pierce his heart. I have no use for it either, Binginyu added calmly. Bowing in gratitude, Qin Nan finally sighed. In that case, I humbly thank you all. He took the pill back, his mind racing. Legend says this pill can trigger a bloodline evolution and complete soul rebirth for any spirit beast. He stared at the glowing orb, thinking of his companion. I wonder if this will work for Little Inch. He began channeling his inner sun core energy. A miniature sun ignited between his palms. Using a displacement technique, he appeared within his inner world. Master, why have you come? Little Inch asked. I'm figuring out how to let you consume this divine beast pill. Qin Nan stroked his chin, analyzing the complex spiritual structures involved. Since you're currently just a soul entity, this pill won't do much without a physical vessel. Suddenly, a red-haired goddess stepped forward. With your sixth tribulation God realm, cultivation, you can now trigger the sun's radiance to absorb its essence. It was the god of burning heavens. But if I drain its excess energy, won't it vanish forever? He asked. The goddess smiled loftily. The sun's refinement is more than just destruction. It is a process of supreme alchemy. The sun can forge any treasure within you into something entirely new, something far more powerful. It is a reconstruction of the soul. By absorbing these artifacts, you can manifest them into a physical reality once again. She spoke with absolute gravity. Think of the sun as a divine forge. This is the process of nirvana rebirth through the sacred flames. As your strength grows, you'll be able to reshape even the most powerful items. Eventually, you might even resurrect the ancient god of and even the 5 elements gods could be reborn through you. Qin Nan reached out to cradle Little Inch, his resolve hardening. I understand. I'll refine the energy for you. He looked at the tiny spirit. Little Inch, prepare yourself for a new life. The ritual began. First, he began absorbing Little Inch's soul essence as a strange, mystical aura began to leak out. Qin Nan closed his eyes, focusing his divine will. Wisps of golden power swirled as he stabilized the process. Opening his eyes with sharp determination, he shouted, Refine. Qin Nan finds Ya Qian and the others waiting for his return. You actually did it, brother Qin Nan, Kaiyan Zhao exclaims. Little Zhao Tun nuzzles his boots with pure affection, closing its eyes in deep gratitude. The beast whispers its thanks. Qin Nan lifts the glowing beast core, his eyes full of excitement. Now, little one, it is time to feast. Thank you, master. Zhao Tun chirps before snatching the core from the air. It swallows the treasure hole with a blissful expression. Suddenly, a blinding radiance erupts from the creature's body. A tidal wave of spiritual energy nearly knocks the group off their feet. Qin Nan braces himself against the sudden, violent gale. Such incredible power. He gasps through the rising smoke. Shielding his face, Qin Nan watches the transformation through the haze. From behind, the god of burning heaven speaks with a solemn tone. The ancient mythical python core, truly a masterpiece of creation. Swallowing that core has awakened the legendary python bloodline. The energy intensifies as heavenly lightning strikes the beast like a targeted storm. A divine transformation has begun. The group watches in awe as the earth trembles under the thunderous assault. This pressure is insane. Zhao! Jing cries out. Zhao Tun's serpent form begins to warp and shift. They wonder just how high its cultivation will soar after digesting the core. Can it truly master such ancient power? Suddenly, A golden beam of light pierces the heavens. Qin Nan squints at the brilliance, his heart racing. Is it a success? Did the pill truly push it to this realm? Then, a mysterious voice echoes through the thick mist. A delicate figure emerges. A cute girl with flowing crimson-brown hair, sporting snake-themed ribbons and pointed ears. She looks both adorable and fierce. Her eyes glow like rubies. A familiar mark shines upon her brow, identical to the beast's. "Master!" she cries, lunging toward Qin Nan with open arms. Qin Nan gapes him. Shock. "Zhao Tun, is that you?" She tackles him in a joyous embrace, her laughter ringing out. "I finally have a human body. This is amazing. I am finally human." Her joy is absolutely radiant. She showers Qin Nan's face with playful kisses. More, more, more. Meanwhile, the atmosphere behind them turns incredibly cold. The other girls watch with very complicated and unhappy expressions. Still reeling from the shock, Qin Nan manages a stunned smile. The mythical Python bloodline is truly legendary. He marvels. The power radiating from her is undeniable. To reach the 7 Tribulation God King realm instantly? Incredible. Zhao Tun beams at his praise, her eyes shining with loyalty. "Do not worry, Master," she says earnestly. "I will use this power to be your ultimate shield and protector." But as the words leave her lips, the earth suddenly groans. A violent tremor ripples through the distant landscape. Deep fissures spiderweb across the soil. Toward a single point, the ground bulges upward like a rising volcano about to blow. Then, the earth suddenly splits wide open. Debris rains down amidst a deafening, sky-shaking roar. The group rushes forward to witness the terrifying anomaly. Zhao Tun is the first to sense the danger. Something is buried deep below. She warns the group. Qian Zhao stares in disbelief at the crumbling landscape. Is the entire ruin collapsing? How is this possible? Zhao Jing points a trembling finger toward the dark chasm. "Look, what on earth is that?" An exquisitely crafted golden artifact rises slowly from the depths. A massive golden disc hovers, radiating a celestial, earth-shaking hum. Its presence alone seems to rattle the very foundations of heaven. Zhao Tun's eyes widen in recognition. "It is a massive golden compass," she exclaims in shock. The artifact ascends further, bathing the world in a divine, blinding glow. Qian Zhao basks in the radiant, magical light. Joy and wonder dance across Qian Zhao's face. Could this be the legendary true god's abode? She wonders. A spectral image of a deity appears upon the compass. The figure sits enthroned in the sky, exuding a majestic and brave authority. Qin Nan's heart races with pure excitement. That projection! It must be the true god himself. Only a true god could possess such overwhelming pressure, Zhao Tun adds. But within seconds, the golden artifact begins to retract its illusion. The vision starts to fade into the void. The light retreats, leaving the group standing in the mountain's shadow. It is gone! They sigh in collective disappointment. Qin Nan stares at the empty sky, deep in wonder. How could a being that powerful ever fall? Qin Nan muses. This era hides secrets we have only begun to explore. Suddenly, the god of burning heaven appears behind him. Standing with crossed arms, her expression is unusually grim. "That aura you felt just now, Qin Nan, it likely belongs to the archaic era." The revelation hangs heavy in the air. Qin Nan spins around, his eyes wide with surprise. The archaic era. That is ancient history. "Indeed," she replies. "It predates even the myths. You know, the archaic period is far older than the ancient era itself. That is why the true gods never stop searching for these relics." The mystery deepens further. Qin Nan's mind whirls, but his tactical resolve quickly hardens. A true god's abode must contain world-shaking treasures. He notes. He looks at his allies with a determined gaze. "We must find a way to claim it." The divine abode has appeared. Inside, a fortune beyond imagination awaits us. His words ignite a fierce fire in their hearts. Qin Nan's hidden plans finally have a stage to play out. We must strike before the other domain lords arrive. He declares, the race for the ultimate prize has begun. Charge! The treasures of this world belong to us. The group cheers, their faces lit with anticipation and greed. Zhao Tun, however, is the most excited of all. Let's go! Everything is ours, she cheers. Charging ahead, Qin Nan and Zhao Jane reach the cave entrance together. A massive, dark maw of a cavern awaits. Zhao Jing reaches out, her hand hitting an invisible wall. A barrier at a time like this, she mutters. Her brows furrow as she analyzes the restriction. If they did not want us inside, why hold this trial? Suddenly, a cold, mocking voice pierces the silence. I have been waiting for you all for a very long time. Smirking, Vim Luke steps into the light to face them. I created this seal. Today, only I shall enter the true God's abode. She sneers at their shocked expressions. But first, I will wipe you all out to ensure no one interferes. I have no intention of sharing these treasures with anyone. Her killing intent floods the area. Everything in this cave belongs to me, she screams. The cave mouth glows with an ominous, bloody crimson light. The very sky turns the color of deep rubies. Keep dreaming, you snake. Qin Nan's voice thunders back. He steps forward, his aura flaring in a challenge. So this was your plan to ambush us at the finish line. Zhao Jing points directly at the arrogant woman's face. You think you can take us all on by yourself? Your arrogance will be your downfall. Vim Luke lets out a chilling, high-pitched laugh. By myself? Who said I was alone? She spreads her hands, tearing to terrifying rifts in reality. Now, it is your turn to die. 2 abyssal portals gape open in the sky above her. A terrifying, ancient power begins to seep out. A massive, flaming claw erupts from the void with a screech. Screams of agony echo from within the dark rift. Then, right after, a terrifying face emerges from the shadows. Who dares summon me? The Colossus roars. His molten form is nightmare fuel. From his void-like maw comes an eerie sound. Clasping a massive cleaver, the behemoth strides forward. A flamey giant. Someone whispers. A legendary warrior of the demon clan. Suddenly, a thunderwolf crackling with lightning leaps from the rift. Its savage gaze paralyzes everyone. Yanlu sneers with malicious delight. Get ready to be torn apart by my pet. She can't wait for the impending slaughter. With a wave of her hands, the hunt begins. The flame giants advance, their muscular frames radiating intense heat and bloodlust. Stay sharp, everyone, Qin Nan warns. These monsters possess terrifying power. His eyes remain cold, calculating his next move. Their cultivation levels are nearing the domain lord realm. Suddenly, a third giant joins the fray. Their combined presence is suffocating. They brandish massive blades wreathed in white-hot sparks. The leader raises his weapon toward the heavens, ready for a killing strike. The crowd stands frozen in shock. Qin Nan narrows his eyes. 3 more. Huh? In a flash, he leaps like a storm. Qin Nan lands defiantly atop the leader's colossal blade. I don't care how many show up, he declares. 1 slash is all I need. The giant listens with grim silence. Qin Nan strikes heaven-shattering slash, but the monster instantly activates its defensive mode. A shimmering barrier deflects the lethal blow, scattering Qin Nan's energy. Cold sweat beads on his forehead as the enemy resists. Impossible. The defensive wall. Qin Nan gasps. Yanlu bursts into mocking laughter. Let me educate you, brat. These flame giants are forged from 10,000 demon elites. They possess the power of the 8th-rank God-Sovereign Realm. The giant stares down Qin Nan with murderous intent. With your current strength, Yanlu sneers, You can't even scratch their armor. Show me how you'll survive this. Realizing he's outnumbered by these titans, Qin Nan decides on a classic tactical move. Fall back 4 now, he bellows. But only Qin Nan retreats. The giant lunges forward, ready to crush him with a punch. The monster's rage has reached its peak. Kill him, the leader commands. Trapped with no escape, Qin Nan grinds his teeth. Damn it! There's no turning back now. The giant's movements trigger massive earthquakes. Qin Nan stands his ground, raising his slender blade, straining every muscle. He roars, "Defend!" It's not enough. He pours every drop of power into his sword, eyes locked forward. Damn it! He really is at the 8th rank God-Sovereign Realm. The giant laughs, unleashing his full, devastating might. Torrential flames erupt, engulfing everything. It's over. He's aiming right for us. Qiongzhao screams. Defensive positions. Now, yay. Shan shouts. The flames condense into a massive supernova, streaking toward the girls at light speed. There is no time to dodge. Death looms over the two cultivators. Qiongzhao stands paralyzed. By the heat, this is it. We can't stop this power! The fireball screams through the air. At the final second, Da leaps forward. He shields the girls from the scorching impact. Da by Qiongzhao screams in horror. Even Yanlu is stunned by the beast's sudden intervention. Where did that come from? Yanlu watches intently from above. Protecting a human. A beast is nothing but a mindless animal, after all. She summons a pack of bloodthirsty wolves from the void. Tear them to pieces first, she commands. They charge like a tide. Da Bai and the girls are instantly surrounded. The wolves' eyes glow with a hunger for meat. Da Bai stands his ground. He shields the others. But a wolf sinks its fangs into his arm. A pained roar echoes Da Ba. The girls cry. The wolf's venom takes hold, and Da Bai collapses. Seeing their companion fall, the girls prepare to fight to the death. Allow me to assist. A voice rings out. Bingju arrives, unleashing her extreme frost technique. The flame giant sneers. He laughs, but Bingju isn't finished. Let my eternal frost freeze you solid. The ultimate clash of elements begins. It's a dance of fire and ice. The giant spits molten lava while Bingju counters with frozen shards. It's futile, she cries, pushing her limits. Slowly, the tide begins to turn. Her divine frost begins to overwhelm the heat. The ice begins to swallow the flames whole. The giant struggles to breathe fire, but his molten core is being snuffed. The momentum shifts. The flame giant has been sealed. Someone cheers. It seemed her icy strike had won the day. But suddenly, a terrifying crack echoes. The ice shatters as the giant laughs. Impressive for a woman, but unfortunately, Bingju's face pales as she turns a tiny bit of ice. Cannot stop my demon legion. With a roar, the giant lunges. He strikes at a small frame with mountain-crushing force. The earth shatters. Not good. She gasps as she's sent flying. Battered, she stares in disbelief. Such power. She stabs her sword into the ground to slow down, but the force is extreme. She skids across the dirt. Unable to stop, her blade carves a deep trench. Curse it! I can't hold my ground. Even at the 8th rank, I'm no match, ... Blood trickles from her lips. Yeshan steps in front of Qiongzhao. Nearby, Zhao Jing is locked in a struggle. Die, you mongrels! I'll crush your heads! She gasps for air, exhausted. But the demon beasts keep coming, their numbers growing. The girls are trapped. There's no end to them. Bingju cries. We'll never break this encirclement at this rate. Catching sight of the lady's plight, Qin Nan's heart sank with worry. They're in grave danger. Suddenly, the fire giant let out a deafening roar. Locking its gaze onto him, Qin Nan's expression darkened. I must shift the battlefield. Parrying a massive blast of flames, he shouted, Zhao Yan, get them out of here now! Their safety is paramount. Even while struggling, he barked out orders. But master, my duty is to protect you. Wrestling a demon beast within its massive coils, Zhao Than's serpent roared while continuing to hold the line. Obey me. Lead them away. I'll handle things here. Reluctantly, Zhao Yan agreed. Understood. I will see them to safety first. I'll be back for you. I'm coming, everyone. Zhao Yan soared toward the trapped ladies. Hold on tight. Hold on tight, she cried out. Summoning 2 serpents, one coiled protectively around the ladies, while the other bared its fangs at the demonic horde. Will this really work? The Xian wondered. But before she could blink, the serpent launched them straight into the heavens. The takeoff's force blasted the monsters aside. High above, the girls' startled screams echoed. They were rescued in a most unexpected way. We actually broke through, Qiang Zhao gasped. While the Xian thanked their savior, Yan Lu observed with a contemptuous, mocking smirk. Qin Nan, do you really think you can defeat my entire demon army alone? Now, I have absolutely nothing to hold me back. Let's see who truly stands at the end. Qin Nan replied calmly amidst the storm. Myriad tribulation. God-Slaying Strike. His face hardened as he uttered a single command. Sunder. A colossal blade of spiritual energy manifested hurtling toward the towering giant. You can't defend and attack simultaneously. By focusing everything on me, your guard is wide open. Qin Nan laughed triumphantly. Begoni. With a thunderous cry, the colossal blade cleaved the fire giant in 2. The Titan was utterly annihilated. Impressive hidden trump card. But beyond that treasure, you're surely out of tricks, Yan Lu noted, her eyes glinting with dark curiosity. But I have another fire giant. Suddenly, a second Titan materialized behind Qin Nan. For the demon race's glory, burn this world to ashes. Pointing to the heavens, she channeled her dark energy. Crimson streams erupted from her fingertips, fueling the flame Titan with terrifying power. The beast roared, its strength surging as it lunged at Qin Nan. What? Another one? He gasped, watching the massive blade descend. Narrowly avoiding the strike, Qin Nan's mind raced. Its speed has increased. Yan Lu, she was hiding an enhancement technique. She actually possessed a way to buff her giants. Even as he danced between blows, he realized Yan Lu's own speed was escalating. The Titan's power surged with every passing second, becoming a truly unstoppable force of destruction under her dark influence. Yet, Qin Nan's resolve didn't flicker. I don't care if there's another, I'll strike you down just the same, he bellowed. Out of nowhere, a massive ape charged toward Yan Lu, its eyes burning with a murderous, predatory glare. This beast, again, before she could react, a devastating blow sent her crashing across the battlefield, screaming in agony. Qin Nan's fighting spirit blazed brighter than ever. Shattering his foe's guard, he smirked. You have your fire giants, ... But I have seen your die batch. Coughing up blood from her injuries, Yan Lu realized the white ape was too much to handle. The true god's treasure is my priority. I'll take your life another day, she hissed, retreating into the shadows. Look out, Daibachi roared, but it was too late. A massive shockwave erupted, slamming both Qin Nan and the great ape into the dirt. Damn yo, heartless witch, Qin Nan growled. Yan Lu sneered back. Struggle all you want. You cannot escape your dark fate. The God Realm's ultimate treasure belongs to the demon race. It is destined to be mine, she proclaimed. With it, I'll ascend to the 8th level god, Lord rank, and finally, conquer the entire demon territory. I will prove my worth to the Lord. As for you, rot in the abyss. She unleashed a final, searing blast of flames. Such was her terrifying, selfish ambition. After the dust settled from their brutal encounter, Qin Nan stood tall, arriving at Sky Island with Senior Diebatch. Qin Nan vowed that Yan Lu's wicked schemes would never come to fruition. "Master, I'm here!" A familiar voice called out as a girl descended on a cloud. It was Zhao Yan, returning to his side. "Is everyone safe?" Qin Nan asked urgently. Zhao Yan nodded. "Rest easy, Master. They are all out of harm's way." Relieved, Qin Nan signaled the start of their journey. "Good! Let's move." Meanwhile, 3 mysterious figures emerged on the island. "Tisk, I expected Yan Lu and Qin Nan to destroy each other." A muscular, braided man grumbled in frustration. "Don't be so gloomy. We'll wait for the chaos to erupt when the treasure hunt begins." A woman in the group advised, "If we strike from the shadows, the prize will be ours. But we must maintain this alliance properly." "Agreed," the third man chimed in. "But on one condition. Every single treasure we find must be split equally." "Fine. Fine. An equal split it is," the muscular man grunted, reluctantly accepting the terms of their pact. "I'm in as well," the woman added. With the pact sealed, the muscular man barked. Then it settled. "Let's head out." The trio lunges toward their objective. Deep within the cavern, a radiant golden coffin shimmers atop a massive central pillar. 4 smaller pillars form an X around it. Suddenly, a mysterious woman descends from above, drawn to the glittering gold. "It is Yan Lu," she shouts greedily. "This stone coffin must house the legendary treasure of the true god." Plotting to seize ultimate power, she thirsts for evil. Meanwhile, Senior Qin Nan, Da Bai, and Zhao Shang descend nearby. Standing before the mesmerizing glow, Qin Nan stares in awe. Is this truly the true god's legacy? But where did Yan Lu go? Qin Nan's expression darkens. The god of burning heaven reveals there are twin altars here. Yan Lu must be at the second site. Realizing the situation, he chooses to secure this prize first. His fingers brush against the cold metal of the golden chest. Suddenly, the chest bursts open with blinding light. Startled, the god of burning heaven leaps forward to shield his master. "Master, beware." Tension grips the trio as an ancient presence begins to manifest from within the radiance. A white-haired figure emerges. 1,000,000 years of hopeless waiting. Finally, a living soul. How has the world changed? As the voice echoes, Qin Nan demands, "Who are you?" The stranger smirks, eyeing him hungrily. "What a magnificent cultivation vessel. Since fate delivered you, I won't hesitate." Sensing the killing intent, the god of burning heaven transforms to defend Qin Nan. "Stay away from my master." Zhao Shang reveals his massive serpent form, letting out a bone-chilling roar of warning. The intruder lunges forward. "Kid, becoming my new host will be your greatest honor." He strikes directly at Qin Nan. Qin Nan grimaces, teeth gnashing as a sudden surge takes over. "Master, wake up." The stranger suddenly pauses, his confidence wavering. It's him." He laughs maniacally. "The divine blazing sun. To think someone here could master the power of heaven. Unbelievable. A mystical light erupts, blasting the stranger back. "Recovering," he gasps. "Wait! I want to strike a bargain with you," he begs desperately. Qin Nan scoffs. "Foolish. You dared enter my mental sea. You should know the divine blazing sun's wrath. Here, I can refine anything into ash." Terrified, the stranger implores for mercy. Qin Nan commands the flames to subside, forcing him to kneel. "Damn it, that divine flame nearly incinerated my soul," he curses inwardly. Qin Nan stares down at him, demanding further explanation. "What deal?" The stranger replies, "I will guide you to become a true god. In exchange, you must slay my enemy. I am already considered a god. Why bother?" Qin Nan questions. The stranger scoffs, "You know nothing of true divinity. You are all frogs in a well. You only dwell in the false god realm." Qin Nan reels, unable to believe his ears. Is every god here? A. Fraud. Confusion clouds Qin Nan's mind. the man explains. Indeed, a true god possesses genuine godhood. They wield divine arts and artifacts, manifesting their own divine realms to establish their sacred legacy across the cosmos. True gods command legions of believers. You gods are merely mortals with extended lifespans of a few thousand years. A true god lives for billions of years. They are the ultimate existences, eternal and immortal within the vast, endless universe. Qin Nan's eyes widened in disbelief. Immortal, eternal. The scale of power he speaks of is simply beyond imagination. A beautiful, distant dream. The figure, high profound god, sovereign, sighs with regret. Once, I stood at the threshold of greatness, ... I was but one step away from the peak of a true god. Qin Nan's curiosity burns. Then, what happened? How could someone so powerful fall so low? Qin Nan asks. The sovereign's voice drips with pure, unadulterated bitterness. I was a sovereign of the true god kingdom, but at my peak, I was betrayed by my own sworn brother. Fury blazes in his eyes as he clenches his fists. That traitor shattered my godhood and left me to rot. He sealed my soul in this desolate void. Later, many other gods were exiled here, their descendants scattering across the realms. They built 10,000 worlds and called this the God Realm. Eons passed while I waited in the shadows. I prayed for a living soul to break my seal. I planned to seize their body and restart my cultivation. I wanted my revenge, but fate brought me to you instead. Suddenly, a realization strikes Qin Nan like a lightning bolt. Asura and the 5 elements, gods. They are all descendants of the exiled. Qin Nan points a defiant finger at the sovereign. You are incredibly unlucky to cross my path. Anyone else would have fallen prey to your soul possession by now. The sovereign stands tall. Will you accept the deal? With my wisdom and your heavenly power, you will be unstoppable. You will ascend as a true god. All you must do is cultivate until you reach the pinnacle of divinity. Then, slay my mortal enemy, Sovereign Na Tai Te. Without a moment's hesitation, Qin Nan nods. Fine. I accept. Inside my coffin lies a 10-mark divine artifact. It is yours to wield. Use its power wisely. It is modest by true god standards, but enough to dominate this false god realm. Qin Nan waves dismissively, accepting the gift. He offers a quick thanks before vanishing from his mental sea. The sovereign watches him leave, whispering, my only hope for vengeance, ... Everything rested upon this youth, snapping back to reality. Qin Nan's eyes flared with life. Beside him, Little Yan gripped his hand, trembling with worry. Master, you're finally awake. Are you all right? Qin Nan gently patted the boy's head. I'm fine. Wait for me, right here. Without another word, he soared into the air, drawn to a diamond-shaped artifact radiating a mystical cerulean glow. Violent ripples of spiritual energy surged around it. A true, divine weapon. Qin Nan marveled as he reached out to claim it. It descended slowly into his palm. The soul-piercing shuttle. A fitting name. Instantly, he dove back into his inner consciousness. He sought the Supreme God's guidance. This soul-piercing shuttle. How do I truly unleash its power? The ancient deity turned to explain. It is a divine treasure with 10 profound seals. Given your current state, you can barely unlock the first layer. You still lack the power of godhood. Qin Nan frowned. Godhood. The deity nodded. Only after ascending to true godhood. ... Can you claim your godhood and wield this weapon's full glory? Understanding dawned on Qin Nan as he struck his palms together. With just the first seal active, what level of expert can I slay? Anyone beneath the God King realm ... will be annihilated in a single strike. Qin Nan couldn't mask his delight. A one-shot kill below the God King realm. Perfect. Are there any other treasures hidden in this cave? The Supreme God gestured. Indeed, a battle saber resides in a separate dimension, though it is but a low-tier divine tool. Qin Nan laughed boldly, his gaze turning sharp and lethal. Vimsat, I'm coming for you. Meanwhile, in another space, Vimsat gripped her blood blade with an arrogant sneer. Ha ha ha! To think this true, God's abode hidden. A divine artifact, a divine weapon is finally mine. With this, the Demon King will surely favor me. She raised her crimson blade, her voice dripping with murderous intent. Qin Nan, why haven't you shown yourself? I can't wait to sacrifice your blood to my sword. Nearby, Little Yan asked anxiously, Master, do you really not need Great White's help? Qin Nan gripped the shuttle, radiating absolute confidence. She is no longer a threat. If we strike together, she won't escape. As for Senior Great White, let him stay here to heal his heavy wounds. Little Yan nodded in agreement. The Supreme God gave a final warning. Be cautious upon leaving. Domain Lords are still lurking. But fear not. The moment you entered, I used the secret technique to temporarily erase this entire time frame. They will never suspect what happened between us. You have done well. Now Vimsat, your time is up. Qin Nan and Little Yan plunged into Vimsat's dimension. He appeared behind her, his voice booming. This cave's treasure belongs to me. Dark energy swirled in her palm as she scoffed. You want the treasure? Let's see if you have the life to keep it. Luck saved you last time, but today I will end you. Yet she remained wary. That white ape is missing. He must be severely injured. I must stay alert. She smiled coldly. No matter your schemes, the artifact is mine. Before absolute strength, all your tricks are utterly useless. High above, Bahauthine's group watched the confrontation in silence. Lam Fan grew suspicious. Where is that white ape? If he was killed, things might get very troublesome for us. Yu Lin interrupted coldly. Quiet! Let us watch the play unfold first before making a move. Qin Nan gestured mockingly. Come, then. I'll give you a single chance. Strike. Vimsat's eyes turned ice cold. Such reckless arrogance. You'll pay for those words. She summoned her ultimate weapon, the flame demon trident. Scorching heat incinerated the air. Die! She screamed, lunging forward. Qin Nan met her with the heaven-shattering sword. My blade is no ordinary steel. Metal screamed against metal as they locked eyes in a deadly, tooth-grinding struggle. Where did you find such confidence? Sparks flew as their energies clashed, sending shockwaves through the air. Little Yan watched intently. Suddenly, he unleashed the 10,000 soul snakes. A massive tide of serpents lunged toward the startled VMC. She retreated frantically, sensing a devastating threat. Is this your helper? Sweat beaded on her brow as she gasped. You, ... You are also at the 7 Calamity God King realm. Blood trickled down her arm. Little Yan grinned triumphantly. I was hiding my true power earlier on Master's orders. Are you shocked now? Ha ha ha. Did reaching the 7 Calamity Realm make you this arrogant? You vastly underestimated the demon race's true might. Even together, you are no match for me. She unleashed her demonic core, turning the ground into a scorched wasteland.